Hi, I'm Molly, gut health dietitian. I am here to talk to you about how to enjoy food with IBS or diverticulitis or Crohn's disease or colitis, any of those. Because I think it's so important for us to remember that this is something amazing and it hurts, so we forget that, right? I know that it is not easy. I know that, there's so much confusion out there. And there's a lot of like self blame, there's a lot of fear, there's a lot of shame. And that is not a good combination, right? So when you're eating with IBS, what you want to remember is to always try things that you've never had. An example of that is something like microgreens. So these are little tiny greens. We've got little tiny greens here. It's just the size of a little baby. And those are super nutrient packed. They have tons of vitamins and minerals in them, really honestly more than the whole plant, because in that little shoot, there's a whole plant. This is just the beginning of the plant that's growing. So it's a really good way to eat some greens and not have the distress of like a whole salad. You can sprinkle it on things, kind of use it sparingly at first. But also they make a lot of bitter greens, radish, arugula, mustard, for example. And those are all greens that help stimulate your digestive juices and your stomach acid and all of that. So we're getting nutrients, we're getting fiber and greens, vitamins and minerals that are not in a huge quantity. That's not going to really bother us as much as like a piece of lettuce. This is the kind of thing that I want you to be experimenting with, because you can eat a very small amount. I mean, you can have one at a first. And also, that's what life is about. Like, that's what this whole thing is about. So let's look at it like, okay, I want this to be an experiment. I want it to be fun. I want it to be something that I love to do again. I want to be able to go out and dine out with my friends. So part of that is going to be using something like this. Part of that is going to be trying things like parsnips, like ginger tea, like rutabaga or turnips or, purple sweet potato, just all little tiny variations of things that you normally eat to get that more diversity, more fiber. They can all be cooked. You don't have to eat things that are raw, but I do want you to continue to try things that you've never had all the time, because you're going to find a lot more stuff that you can eat. Right now, if you're anything like me and my clients, like I used to be and my clients are now, your diet's kind of limited. And when our diets are limited, then what are we going to do? Where can we go from there? We feel like we're boxed into this carrots, green beans, chicken, rice situation. But like try teff, try quinoa, try oats, try sorghum. Like there's a million different grains that you can try. Kamut, amaranth, all of those are options. And I bet you've never tried half of those things that I just mentioned. You just Google whole grains and then, a lot of them are sold in bulk. So you could get like a smaller amount and just try them, and it's a lower risk situation. Or, like if you had a dog, you could obviously incorporate it into your dog's food if you really couldn't tolerate it. And always start small, have a tablespoon of it at first. Like even with beans, just have a tablespoon or a teaspoon a day. And teach your body how to digest some of this stuff again so that it can be in a place where it is forming the resilience too. So like you and your gut are going to work together to build that resilience up so that you can tolerate different foods, because it's too boring and life is too short for you to have such a limited diet. And the more that you restrict for a longer period of time, the more that you're going to feel bad. Like your body needs fiber, your body needs diversity, and your poop is not going to be that beautiful Bristol 4 that we all want it to be if you're not eating any fiber. I know it feels like junk food is easier to eat sometimes because it doesn't have these compounds that cause fermentation in our gut, that cause, discomfort and pain and all of that. Now, other things that you can do to enjoy food with IBS, besides trying different things, is try enzymes. Fodzyme is a really good one. It's pricey, but it breaks down garlic and onions, and no other enzyme is going to do that. So if you have trouble with garlic and onions, really, that's the one to get. For beans, you can try Beano. You can try Target Anti-Gas, which is just Beano. You can try Microbiome Labs has one called FODMate. All of this is in my Amazon store, so you can check that out. The link is in the show notes. I don't like get a bunch of them. I try one, you know what I mean? If you want something that's more broad spectrum for like fat and dairy and fiber, use like Digest Gold by Enzymedica. If you have problems with your gallbladder, then you would want to use, you know, something that was a little more tailored to that. And remembering that, you know, this is a personal situation. It's not just all or nothing. Like, your body may need something different than someone else's body may need. So in order to know what to do, sometimes you have to do some experimenting. And that's, again, it can be frustrating, but we can say, this is going to be fun. And then we can start to believe it because we say it so much, right? Here I am in the kitchen talking to you, and I did not think it would be fun, and it is. So, okay, trying new things, using enzymes to support your digestion, sitting for meals and chewing, because when you do that, this food is in smaller pieces, it's easier to digest, it's easier on your body, and it gets broken up more by your teeth, so your body doesn't have to work as hard. Plus, you're not swallowing as much air. When we swallow air, we get bloated, we get farty, and then if we have a hard time passing gas, then that's going to be an issue. Also, using teas like peppermint tea and ginger tea, chewing fennel seeds or something like that, that can really relax the intestines and let some gas pass through. You know, and you can grab fennel seeds from your kitchen counter. And getting creative, understanding that, you know, if you keep a food diary on your own, if you do something of that nature, just for a week, food and symptoms, not like calories, but food and your symptoms, because then you can go back and say, oh, I see, every time I eat something fried, every time I eat, you know, peanut butter or egg salad or a hamburger, my stomach hurts. Then you can say, oh, is it the fat? And then you can try doing lower fat things and see if that helps, you know what I mean? So you can kind of become an investigatory journalist, as Derek Zoolander says, and look into it further, because you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes we just have to uncover some of that information so that we can avoid those things. There are a lot of resources out there available to you. I'm here for you every Monday for the most part. And ChatGPT can be helpful, the internet can be helpful, but remember that supplement stuff and marketing and probiotics, that's not to your body. That's just marketing to anybody. And you may need a more specific plan because no one else lives in your body. So, you know, you could have a little gallbladder situation and you could have a little H. pylori situation where you have heartburn. So there are two things there that we would want to kind of make sure that we're, you know, you could have maybe a history of kidney stones, and then you could have difficulty digesting fiber. So we would want to make sure that we supported those. And I think it's important to remember that all of that is really nuanced and complex, and it's not your fault. And it's common for people to have multiple things that they have to kind of navigate in terms of health. But you're not alone. And as someone who pooped her pants many times, I'm here to tell you that it feels like it'll never get to the other side, but you can get to the other side, and life over there is great. So where are you going to start? You're going to try something that you've never had before. If you want to see me again, do the things you need to do, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you want to learn, and I love you. Bye.